All right, CC Foster there and the outstanding shot man. I don't know if you could have seen him because really not that tall. Tease me and tease him. All right, let's move on. Folks, for the past few years, the birth rate in Jamaica has been on the decline. Dr. Clayton Kelly, who is a consultant obstetrician and gynecologist at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital, is with us now. Morning. Welcome to Smile. How are you?
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. All the very best to you and your family.
Happy New Year to you guys.
Oh, yeah, to you as well.
Isn't that a good thing, though? That we're not having too many kids?
So, I mean, for many years it was because we were able to implement, family planning strategies that actually help to improve or to decrease birth rate among some of our vulnerable women. So, yes, it was. But no, it has gone below that threshold, that mark. It's too right. It becomes too effective. Two is too many.
Two is too many.
So I mean, it actually is what has happened because we've gone below the 2 mark, which is really we're having less than 2 children being born per woman who are of reproductive age.
So the birth rate overall means what?
All right. So birth rate / fertility rate. It just speaks to, so both of them are a little different. The fertility rate speaks to the number of babies being born per 1,000 women who are of reproductive age, which is usually between 15 and 44. While the birth rate now just speaks to the number of babies being born per 1,000 population. So they're similar in its effect, but they're different because of the statistics. Yep. So our fertility rate is a little below 2 now. So, we're expecting, so the threshold is 2 or 2.1. So you want at least 2 babies being born per woman of reproductive age, which now it has gone below that. And
what
that's
is it
why
now?
It's, so the last time I saw it is about 1.9. So,
almost.
Right. So it's right. So it's just below the threshold that we expect.
Now, a declining birth rate or a declining fertility rate, what kind of implications does that have for society?
So it has significant implication on our socio-economic standpoint. So, of course, we know that our population is now becoming an aging one. So, people are living longer. So that's the highest, or that's a population that is increasing significantly. So above 65, right? The population or the age group that will drive the economy, that will, do the work, invention, produce, that will cause a country to improve economically is on the decline. And that where the main issue is. So it will affect the country's economical drive.
Yep. We hear about traffic on the road, and every day you have more cars on the road. Every year you have more people coming out of university and they can't find anywhere to live.
Right.
So why would you want more people when you have difficulty with who you have already?
I mean, that's a good point. Somebody, a friend of mine asked me, actually say to me that, nobody don't have kids because it's too hard. It's hardship. But so that's one of the reasons why people will not want to have kids. Also, I mean, people are now trying to self-actualize. People are delaying fertility. And this also is a problem because, I mean, when we have done all our studies and all our achievements, then at that point it might be a little too old or a little too late. And then that's another problem. So infertility is also another problem with fertility.
Garth asked the question earlier about the implication to society.
Right.
So I just gave a minus thing.
Right.
What's the plus in all of this? So having more kids, what's the plus?
All right. So the plus in having more kids. So as you can see, a lot of our sector, we have to be importing people who are skilled or skilled workers. You see it largely in the medical field, or nurses or short-term nursing. I mean, a lot of this has to do with migration as well, but these are important things that we're gonna have to struggle with. Finding people who are skilled to do work.
So it's about building the nation.
It's about building the nation with our people, right? And that's a big problem for any society.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned there's an article from the Jamaica Gleaner which we're quoting, and the emphasis is on young, healthy Jamaicans to start families.
Right.
Why the emphasis on young and healthy? Well, I figure healthy, but the emphasis on young.
So when we look on age, older people, older women, older men, tend to develop non-communicable illness, so your hypertension, your diabetes, and the complications associated with these. When a woman gets pregnant, or entire physiology, or entire makeup, our cardiovascular system goes under significant strain. And if there is complication, for example, heart disease from before, the pregnancy is gonna challenge that, and these women are at significant risk to die. We call it maternal mortality, a significant risk to die during pregnancy. And so we try to advise, or we try to counsel our women about that because that's a problem. I mean, the flip side to that, we really don't want our very young or teenagers getting pregnant. And so, contraceptive advice is still very important. Yeah. But it's counseling.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
When we were younger, there was this campaign from the Ministry of Health, 2 is better than too many.
Right.
If you were to put a spin on that for encouraging birth rate, encouraging people to start families, what would that sound like now? Because for young women, you're talking about women in their 20s,
right?
Generally speaking, right? It's the ones you're encouraging to start families. How many children would you say to get us from that 1.9 to 2? What are we talking about here now?
All right, so we still have to be mindful when we're advocating, right? Because we really don't want an explosion, right? And we really don't want everybody to go and start having unprotected intercourse. So it's a holistic discussion around getting pregnant. But certainly, we'd want our healthy women to have at least 2 kids. Yeah. And I mean, that would be good. We're not telling them to go and have 5, 6. Of course, some women would probably want to have that, and then you don't want to limit them in that light. Right. But certainly, more than 1.
Earlier in the interview, you were very specific with the ages. You said 15 to 44.
44.
Why 44?
So, all right. So, and we spoke about delaying pregnancy. So after 35. A woman's ability to get pregnant, or we call it ovarian reserve, declines significantly.
Why?
Because the ovaries just die, the eggs just die. I mean, it's just a normal process.
Okay.
Right? So the eggs die, and so when you hit to 44, you getting pregnant is very, very low, or beyond 44 is very low. I mean, we know we have the 1 or 2 persons who will get pregnant, and I mean use special treatment to get pregnant. But after 35, it reduces, and 44, it's significantly so. You have less people getting pregnant at that age, and so we're limited to that.
And is there a suggestion that it is more dangerous to have a child when you get to 44, 45, 46? Is there a danger in this, or are you just saying?
So if the woman is 44, 45 and she's healthy, she's eating properly, she's exercising and she's healthy, the main risk at that point in time, if this woman is healthy, is having she's at risk for having a baby with abnormalities, increased risk. But her risk of mortality or risk of problem during the pregnancy is the same once she's healthy.
And that would be the same reason you gave us earlier.
Precisely.
Because of...
precisely, the impact on the pregnancy and the system.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Right.
That's interesting. Right. So the word is you're telling those who can and want to have 2 kids.
Yes.
At least.
At least 2 kids.
As a part of your national duty.
Yes.
Dr. Clayton Kelly is a consultant obstetrician and gynecologist at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital. I don't know, so them where they had early in the morning, but them had any time of day for say, but early in the morning, them not so easy for say.
No, not at all. Up next, we'll meet an author and a financial consultant from the UK, empowering others. We'll be right back.